Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Robert Wolfman.
And you've got Jaime and Fuego here, and we are reconvening for some Patreon love. This is none other than Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve!
Exactamundo, and we are talking about Intruders. Now, this is one of those films where it has such like a broad title, you have to make sure you are watching the
correct
particular film that was requested of us.
Not
by
the
Steve.
Miranda Cosgrove one from iCarly in 2015 now.
I think that's the one that Cecil
I
actually
think so
had
too,
on
I
her
know, that's
release.
why I mentioned it.
Yeah, and I watched it. I watched him mention it in the group thread, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the movie we're trying
No,
to watch, bro.
No, because I remember I went and looked at some clips on it. It was really teeny.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is definitely not our type of movie that we had requested.
Yeah, of which this film is not. This is actually one that has a lot more depth and a lot more adept, peeps behind the presentation process than I was initially anticipating. And Rory Culkin, before he did, Lords of
Chaos.
Lords of Chaos,
Yeah, which is the
all about
Mayhem movie.
Yeah,
if you guys
which-
aren't familiar with that band.
Yeah, lots of people, they had some issues with that film, but you have to take artistic liberties, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. Susie
I love you.
ate shit about that. We love you, Susie.
I love you.
Yeah, but Rory's been rocking along here for a bit, man, and I definitely appreciate it. And so he is essentially a friend slash worker who helps out this girl who has been caring for her brother who has pancreatic cancer, if
Something
I remember
like that.
correctly.
He's
on his
ailing.
deathbed.
He's ailing in that sense of the word.
Yeah, he's staring down "Hello, Darkness, my old friend," and he's right about to, make his acquaintance. But so Culkin essentially, he's trying to be a friend to this girl, but she is apparently, as we find out later on in the film, is it agoraphobia?
Yeah, it's agoraphobia, which is the fear of the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, basically you find out pretty quick as the story, not really kind of as the story progresses and everything, but it's still relatively early on in the story.
Without super spoiling.
Exactly. You figure out what her deal is and everything, especially once everything starts going on. Yeah. So basically, if anything, we just jump into a quick overgloss of the story.
Yeah, and also overall impressions and the fact that, I thought her performance was quite good. I thought the villains were menacing. Rory basically kind of segues into this sort of like, is he or isn't he sort of character, and people may have some qualms with that, debate it, whatever, but yeah, I thought as far as like a tense thriller that is in a singular sort of site, it definitely helps with the production process as far as that money you spend and stuff. So man, I found this film effective, good performances, intriguing setup, and there are a few twists without spoiling it, and so that's about the way I felt on it before we segue into the story. What about you, man?
Indubitably.
Yeah.
So no, I actually had, again, this is one of the movies that I had a lot more enjoyment with than I initially thought I was going to.
Always nice when you go in with those lowered expectations.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, especially with our main character and whatnot, with her personal struggles and whatnot, and then what you come to find out of the backstory and everything on her family, in a sense, we'll just call it that.
It's hefty.
Yeah, it's hefty, and at the same time, you understand the justification of what they were doing, but at the same time, you're like, it's that rightness of, well, what you guys were doing wasn't right. Yeah. But you understand what they were doing.
Yeah, it's that gray line of trying to be virtuous without spoiling stuff.
Exactly. And that's I think honestly what I enjoyed the most about this movie is those little bit of characters, even for the other backdrop characters, the bad guys that we had, they were interesting. For what Fuego mentioned was Rory Culkin, his character, which is obviously the younger Culkin brother from Lords of Chaos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he the youngest? Because I think there's like 3 or 4 friggin' Culkins.
I think he is the youngest, but he's the other one besides Macaulay that has actually gotten into
made a name for himself.
Yeah,
and
made a name for
significantly.
himself and gotten
Yeah.
into more in the mainstream films.
Mhm.
But for all the characters that we had, they
Yeah,
played.
he was also
they
in Scott
played very-
Pilgrim, if I remember correctly, right?
Was he?
Yeah, he was the one who was sharing the bed with the gay roommate, if I remember correctly. Or
Yeah, I don't
he
remember
was
that.
the gay roommate. Anyway,
Funny. One of them.
jokes.
But yeah, no, I haven't watched Scott Pilgrim, honestly. I don't think since it came out.
Oh man,
I'll have to revisit that one.
I like
honestly.
that
That
one.
was a fun one for what I remember.
Yeah, the cast is fatty, but
Yeah.
Culkin, man.
Yeah, definitely. And his character for what we had, because like that's a nice thing. I think how they wrote him, and he played the character was that kind of that torn in between of he doesn't know what to do, whether the good thing or the bad thing, because he's being manipulated by other people in his life.
Will he or won't he?
Exactly, and that plays out too with something towards the the third act. I would say.
Yeah, I was about to say as they segue from the 2 to the 3 for sure.
Yeah, and like you kind of get to see into that and everything. But all in all, like just a circle. I'm gonna pull a Jen Psaki. I'm gonna circle back here. And all in all, like this movie actually was pretty legit. I had a lot more fun with this than I thought I was. If you guys have come across this and skip past this, and as just that breaking entering kind of nonchalant kind of cliche movie,
It's much more just
it is
intuitively.
it is it's much more than what I thought it was, and probably a little bit more than what you might think it was. So I definitely recommend giving it a try.
Yeah, and I'm bringing this up because of the fact that you guys can actually watch it for free right now. On so there is, as Robert and I and Cecil and the rest of the gang, there is a contingent of free streaming services if you're willing to watch some ads. And this is on Pluto, Tubi, and Vudu right now, free. But you have to be down with enduring those ads. And yeah, this is one that I would actually
30-second ads. Come on, people.
Yeah, man.
Get your crap together.
Yeah, I mean, when you would watch a film on cable television or a regular like local broadcast TV or whatever, you watch like 10, 15 minutes and then you have a commercial break that's around like 1.5 to 2 minutes. And so it's about the extent of what you're going to have to endure here. I liked the guessing game. Just to give some final thoughts about this, score was good. I enjoyed the fact that it was just very well shot within this one singular site, and the
Most definitely.
the weird basement action that we get in this when you see what these siblings have really been up to. It's pretty hardcore and it's cool.
And it's worth the trip into the movie, guys.
Yeah.
Like it really is.
It also really reflects the quality of the acting from that lead actress because of the fact that, dude, she kind of pulls a 180 without super
she
spoiling
most
stuff.
definitely does.
Like, you think she is frail in one thing, and then when you flip the script and you're just realizing, holy shnikes.
She a badass.
Yeah, indeed. So this film does, and that's even just the tip of the iceberg of, like, spoilers and ideas and stuff like that. This was a film that really this is a film that really surprised me. And yeah, man, Scuba Steve, good friggin' recommendation, man, because this was definitely one that, with the extent of stuff that constantly comes out, I don't have time for all of it.
Exactly.
I've been trying my damnedest to keep up, but with all the streaming services and all the VOD stuff, and like it was so much more easy when I just had to go to a theater a couple times a week,
right? Or Hollywood Video on a Friday night. Come on, guys.
God damn, but
no, that's again like what Fuego was saying. Like that's the one thing that we especially love about you guys is if there's movies that we have maybe seen a little bit and everything, but it just completely went underneath our radar and we kind of forgot about.
It's a lot that's watched and not
that's
even
where
reviewed.
You guys come from. It's like, oh shit, I forgot about that movie. Thanks, cool. I wanted to watch this.
Yeah, I'm glad I have my spreadsheets and my letterbox, but there's still stuff that falls through the cracks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So real quick, to segue into the acting, just to kind of gloss over it. Personally, nobody felt short. I would say, but at the same time, I wouldn't. This isn't one of the movies that anyone stood out from anybody else.
I would say that the young lady and Rory were the standouts for me, and also the villainous nastiness of the other two brothers who are like a part of what goes down at this house during a funeral.
To a point and everything, but at the same time, it wasn't anything new from what we've already seen these other type of movies.
I can admit that.
That's where I'm looking at on this kind of thing. It's like, don't get me wrong, they were definitely really good on their acting, especially our main girl on her agoraphobia and things like so. Basically, like she has a paralysis.
Yeah.
Once she gets to that threshold of the door, because
she gets out on the porch and she starts like freaking the frig out, man.
Yep, and from what I've read and everything, that's basically kind of like what happens.
I've actually never personally known somebody with that sort of affliction.
Neither have I.
Yes,
this is
I've
just
been
from what
acquainted
I've
with
read.
various others, but no.
Yep. But other than that, from Rory Culkin, our backdrop kind of bad guys and everything, and even our main bad guy. No one felt short. Everyone was very pretty even on their acting capabilities.
Truthfully, man. And we already talked about set design, the just singular setting for the most part, and how that was very
well done.
Yeah, very effective for tension. I think more so
especially
than
once
else.
we get into the basement aspect and the second level of. Well, okay, we'll call it the first level because it's the basement of the house.
Yeah, and also the second guessing of character motivation
Yep.
and intent a lot of the time. That is, and it's not just one. It's a few different characters where you're constantly doing that second guessing thing about what they're actually going to do.
Because even with between our main character and everything, and then our we'll call them just supporting characters because they are our bad guys and everything, but they had multiple motivations throughout this movie.
Yeah, and also like crisis of confidence at certain times as well, where they're like reassessing how much they should proceed through this ever expanding dire situation that they thought was going to be a cakewalk initially. So
Yep. And then but basically about covers for our acting. Music, anything that stands out to you? I think it was pretty generic.
Yeah, as I mentioned, a little bit earlier, nothing specific as far as a particular usage of song that stood out to me. It was serviceable. It was fine. I really would just double down on the fact that just the way this film was shot on a singular location just added so much tension and edge of my seat sort of constant second guessing and reconsideration, which I appreciated the hell out of. This was much more so as opposed to, anytime music is at the forefront, and this is not always the case in my estimation, but a lot of the time when it is, it's where like acting and dialogue specifically are taking a backseat to just visual amazingness and music. And so anytime a film does both, I mean, just like with the Gamera review, holy shit, that's absolutely amazing. But this one did not have a specific sequence that would be just championed at the forefront. So
the one thing I would definitely say, so like a segue and basically into like cinematography of what we had, because again, that was I think more so our main focal point of this movie,
especially set design of the basement.
Yeah, where everything shined was the shots and everything of when you see the underground of their house and what the sister and brother have actually been up to.
You think Buffalo Bill's got some shit?
Yeah, right. But these guys actually had a legit reason behind their shit.
A little bit different.
Buffalo was just a psycho. We ain't tucking it in for nobody.
Not spoiling that aspect. Yes, they have a much more virtuous intention.
Yep. So. But going back to how they shot those scenes, it's easy enough to, with the simplicity of how they set up the sets of the basement, it's easy to have a plain and boring shot. How they shot between the collapsing stairs and the holding room. Basically with the bed,
and also
was very
not
well done.
And not lingering too long
Exactly.
in that holding room, which was just very vanilla. And there's a scary aspect to being trapped in a place like that, for a while, but you gotta reel it in after.
But at the same time, the nice thing is they played off of a couple different fears, including claustrophobia.
Yep. Most definitely, with the collapsing.
Exactly. That's one.
Trying
thing.
so hard not to.
I know, definitely, this movie is it's easy to spoil, but I definitely recommend you guys checking this out, even if it's just a one and done watch.
Yeah. It's free, guys.
Yeah,
I mean, just endure some commercials.
It's worth the watch of those the random good gems of a home invasion story.
Yeah, I must admit the commercials are better on Tubi than Pluto, though. So keep that in mind. Those Pluto commercials are like head scratchers.
From the mouth of babe.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that's pretty much going to be gonna wrap it up on our review of Intruders.
Scuba Steve.
Yes, thank you again, Steve.
Yes, to quote Pac, you are appreciated.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys want to become a patron and everything, the link is in the description box below. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that bell, so you can get all those notifications, see all of our beautiful faces for all the new videos that we put out.
Yeah, my
other than
face.
Other than that, from the horror show, I've been Robert the Wolfman.
And gracias, I've been Jaime and Fuego, or Jaime and Gringo is
Jaime and Gringo.
Hey, Fuego is a, color neutral sort of situation.
He's a white flame.
Now I'm thinking La Flama Blanco from Eastbound and Down, man.
There we go.
La Flama Blanco. No, I'm Fuego, and until next time, Fright fans, remember,
Stay scared.
Amen.